I'll start by introducing my name again before I answer the questions I've been asked to talk about. My name is Father Anthony Samuel Agbovi. I'm an SMA priest, Society of African Missions, and I work in Kano, Kano Diocese, as the parish priest of St. Charles. And I've been asked why Taifo? Why did I come out all out to begin an NGO called Taifo? What was the inspiration behind it, and what motivated me or inspired me to uh, bring about this NGO in order to touch lives? I think if I would clearly say my background and upbringing gave me that privileged position to be able to think deeply and to reflect. It is said that an unexamined life is not worth living. And growing up, my dad was educated and my mom was not educated. But I watched the combination of these persons I call my parent and saw how much they put in for education. My dad was very fierce when it came to education and would not allow you mess up when it comes to your academics. When we bring back our results from school and he opens it and look into it, you know the next thing that will follow. And that made me to sit up in school gradually. And again, I saw the way my mom would sacrifice anything she had. I am the only son of my mom, and I saw how much she put in her energy, her resources to helping me and others go to school. And that inspired me a lot because it's not about having it. It's about living a life that knows what it means not to have it. I can clearly say today, I've gotten degrees that my dad never had, nor certificates my mother never had in life. And I think this is what life should be. And that is why when I look back, I'm also looking backwards to teachers that contributed into my life. I don't think I want to start mentioning names now. From primary school, I had teachers who were very much dedicated to my academic life in terms of discipline, in terms of making sure I came out as good as I ought to. And it wasn't easy because I loved to play, I loved to do other things. But I had one particular teacher who would not let me breathe. I couldn't fail my assignment. It was going to result into punishment and beatings and trying to get me to sit down to get what I need to get. In fact, I had to learn how to study in the night, wake up in the middle of the night, right from primary 6. I had to learn how to wake up in the middle of the night to read and study because I didn't want to be beaten in school. When I look backward right now, I am grateful to God for all these persons that have contributed to my academic and educational life. But then, in the midst of growing up again, I realized something, that as we move up the ladder of life with my mates, I began to see a shift. For some persons, they couldn't continue with school. They had to drop out. Some persons moved in different directions. And now, as I look backward, I've believed that I have been given opportunity in life and a platform and a stage that I should use to inspire, help, and also bring about transformation in the society. As I move around in different countries that I've been through, the different countries I've been to, I began to realize that to be born of a particular family, it's enough to be thanking God. But not just to be born in that family, to have parents and guardians and teachers come along the path of life neighbors and friends who have transformative and growth mindset, it's actually a blessing. Sometimes, apart from our immediate families, we ourselves have to look for people who would give us, or who would help us achieve that dream and that push that we have. It is in seeing people or young ones on the streets, girls out of school, young girls having a different lifestyle other than the one they've ever dreamed about. Having people go on the street, seeing people entering relationships that they wouldn't have been there if they are more educated. People ending up with men and women they never thought they would end up with. People getting into dangerous places to work just because they have no certificate attached to their names. These are all the inspirations I gather and telling myself I would have been on the street if I was not helped, if I didn't have people with transformative minds around me, despite all the challenges I have. These are the motivations behind Taifo Foundation. When I look back, I remember days I had to save my money in order to buy textbooks. I remember days I had to keep my transport fare to be able to buy the things that I wanted more for my academic life. And when I look back now, I saw that determination, I saw that being focused and open to being helped has brought me to where I am today. Being a priest was enough for me to just sit back, say my masses, and do the normal activities that is, or duties that is required of me. But right from the day I finished my last paper in school, there was always a question format that was always in my mindset. It was, what next? What can you do more? And the watchword for me is impact. I want to leave a legacy behind. I want to impact the lives of people. I want to get to that point in life where all I want to hear around me is, he was used to touch my life. He touched me. He impacted in my life. Because that for me brings fulfillment. Because I believe that whatever I've been given, it is in giving it out, giving back to the community, that makes me to have fulfillment. So when the idea of having an NGO came, I thought about it back and forth, and I wanted to know exactly what would I do to bring transformation to the society and also make impact in the life of people. I started with a whole thing about, first of all, going on a low key, helping individuals, getting to know people and know their situations. Of course, I can't help everyone, but then what I started doing was to pick out cases that I knew. For example, I've had ladies who I knew that if nobody steps into their lives at that particular hour, they will end up dating the wrong people, get into wrong relationship, do crazy things just because they wanted to graduate in school and they needed that help. And that was how I started, in a very quiet way, helping people who needed help desperately. Boys who would end up on the street or become worse off with the situations of life if they were not helped to remain in the walls of academics and school. And that was how I started. But then at the end of the day, I told myself I needed to register an NGO so that I create a platform where people who have had stories like mine, where we've had to struggle, we've had to push, we've had to do some extra things and make the choices in the midst of so many temptations, and then become who we are today, we can also become an inspiration to others. Just like I said, I've not had it all together on a platter of gold moving, but I realized that having having a transformative mind, having a growth mindset, and then linking up and joining people who have the same spirit, the same ideas, the same goals, the same visions, who see the way you see in terms of growth, in terms of trying to transform the mind. They would naturally come in and help you. And I want to say thanks to them. And so this is how I registered, how I came to register Taifo Foundation. Like I said, I called it Taifo because I wanted it to carry out a clear name that shows it is me, so that people are not lost looking for it, and also to the word impact for me stands out because I wanted to make sure that lives are being impacted, and I want to always hear the joy and the celebration that lives were impacted, and to share in that joy that I was an instrument, a bridge, a mechanism, a tool that was used for that transformation in the person's life. And which I encourage everyone to get into the boat and also go towards this direction of transforming the society. And I know the government is there. I know church institutions and different organizations, companies are all doing the same thing that I am doing right now. I'm coming on board now, and I know others will still come on board to do more and more in order to make the society a better place. And this is the reason why I started Taifo. We wanted to focus on transformative mind through education, helping orphans, and then also, with time, we hope to go into medical outreach because it is a sound body, a sound mind that comes to class and listens. Without good health, people may abscond from school and they will not be there. And so, for me, Taifo Foundation, it's targeting areas of life that could help the individual have a better life. Human development for me is a major thing. I've been inspired in it, and I keep getting inspiration, and I'm pushing my best to keep trying to see how the human person is developed holistically, that is spiritually, um, uh, in terms of their own growth and morals, and then also trying to develop the minds and heart of these persons so that we have good and industrious and very well focused persons in the society. So the slogan, "We rise by lifting others," remains something I hold on to. That as we lift up others, just like the way we've been lifted up, so also with the lift up generations that are behind us. So I encourage everyone to be part and parcel of this big dream, and your contributions, your ideas are welcome. You could send us an email on typhofoundation@gmail.com, or on my cell number +231 234 rather 810-699-6785. Your ideas are welcome. Your contributions are needed as displayed on the screen. We have our account number, and if you're outside Nigeria, for example, we have other accounts that can help you easily be able to donate to this dream. I believe you yourself have your story of how you've gotten to where you are today. This is the same story we want others to hear through your contributions and build their own life and their own legacies of how they have been helped to become responsible in the society. Thank you very much. So this is a brief and a short discussion on why I created the NGO called Taifo and the inspiration behind it. I've talked about my family background, I've talked about my teachers, and the third inspiration has been seeing classmates, seeing people on the street, seeing people being taken advantage of, boys, girls getting into drugs, wrong relationships, selling their bodies just because they want to make ends meet. These are all the motivations actually that has brought me to this point. Thank you very much. I hope to hear and to receive your own donations concerning Taifo Foundation. Thank you very much.